Mission Impossible 2 is, without question, the most hated movie in the franchise. Like, everybody shits on that movie. And even if you Google what is the most hated Mission Impossible movie, it is said that it is Mission Impossible 2. Here's my question. How in the fuck is that possible? Okay? I've been going back and rewatching the old Mission Impossible movies, kind of just refreshing it because, of course, with the final rating coming out, I've seen part one when it hit Paramount Plus, I don't know, like last year or whatever. Of course, I've seen Fallout recently. Rogue Nation was kind of a blur. Like, I remember seeing it. It's just been a while. So, let me rewatch Fallout. Then I rewatched Rogue Nation, of course, and then rewatched Dead Reckoning Part 1 before the final rating. Now, going back again, just kind of getting a refresher, I went back and rewatched Mission Impossible, and then I just rewatched Mission Impossible 2. Now, I'm still confused on how the fuck is Mission Impossible 2 the most hated Mission Impossible movie. That is the movie that made Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible. If you watch the first one, and don't get me wrong, I love Brian De Palma. Great fucking director. However, the first film feels more like a dip into a feature film when it really kind of feels more like a TV movie in a sense. You did have your big action sequence there towards the end, but it felt more like a buddy cop movie than it did really a Mission Impossible movie. Like, it was trying to be James Bond, but it really wasn't there yet. And then Mission Impossible 2 comes out, and you have fucking John Woo directed. And if you don't know John Woo, you're in for a treat. You have to watch some John Woo. We will cover John Woo for a director episode of the podcast, probably within the next month or two. Again, huge fan of fucking John Woo. Absolutely love him. And rewatching this movie, this is what good action movies look like. This is what Hollywood's missing. Like, it actually looks like a badass action movie. Like, again, it's John fucking Woo, so the explosions, the gunplay is without question the best in the fucking franchise. Like, the gunplay in this, the gun fu is the best in the franchise without question. Even the hand-to-hand combat scenes feel very close to, I don't want to say kung fu movies, but they feel a lot closer to like your Hong Kong like action movies and your like Hong Kong cop movies where the hand-to-hand combat is very intensified, almost like The Matrix. Like, it has a very intensified hand-to-hand combat. Even the newer Mission Impossible movies, they don't have that really badass hand-to-hand combat. They don't have that badass shootout scenes. Like, and this is where it's fucking John Woo. During the movie, on multiple occasions, there's fucking doves flying, pretty much for no fucking reason at all. They did work in one or two sequences where the doves actually played a part into the actual sequence that had a result that changed the events and kind of had a chain reaction. However, just the doves there, you just know it's fucking John Woo. And again, even just the way it's shot, like you need to go back and rewatch Mission Impossible 2 because the way it is shot is just so gorgeous. It's like the cinematography and just the way they capture these shots. It's so John Woo though. It's even your shots. You had that slow mo again. When did Mission Impossible come out? The early 2000s. I want to say it was 2001. So it's like right past The Matrix. Like, it's like right after The Matrix. So of course, slow-mo was a big thing then. But even just the way they capture these shots and just kind of, slow-mo apart in the kind of the Matrix kind of post-Matrix moment, if you will. Just the way everything plays out, it's fucking Mission Impossible. The first movie doesn't have that much action sequences. There is no big defying stunts. It isn't really a Mission Impossible movie. It's like Fast and Furious. It's a Fast and Furious movie before it became what the franchise is. Mission Impossible 2 is to Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Mission Impossible 2 is the Tokyo Drift of the Mission Impossible series because Tokyo Drift was the defining point in Fast and Furious. Without Tokyo Drift, you would get no Fast 5. You wouldn't have him fucking taking a car in a fucking outer space, which they just took it too far with that one. But Tokyo Drift was what took it from street racing to that next level of shit. Mission Impossible 2, if John Woo didn't do Mission Impossible 2, we would probably not have Mission Impossible as we know it, and it probably wouldn't even last as long as it has, because all your earth-defying stunts, everything like that. The first movie, the best part of the first movie, as far as defining stunts, was when he came out of the vents on the rope, and he kind of like came down, and he like right before hit the ground, and even that was a well executed scene. But again, that was one of your only real moments where you have those really cool kind of Mission Impossible type of action sequences. It's not really Mission Impossible. Like Mission Impossible 2, hands down, is one of the best Mission Impossible movies. I challenge you to rewatch it and then tell me your opinion. Because I honestly don't see how people hate Mission Impossible 2, or how that is considered to be the worst in the franchise. That is the movie that made the fucking franchise. I'm going to have to go look it up. So probably Tokyo Drift probably is one of the most hated in the Fast and Furious franchise. But that's what made the fucking franchise. That was the birth of the franchise. And Mission Impossible 2 was the birth of the franchise. Like, if it wasn't for John Woo, I don't think Mission Impossible would exist right now. Not as we know it anyway. It would be a vastly different type of movie. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let me know.